because if you've been a follower of this movement, if you want to call it that, then it's always been clear what kind of potential lies within it. And you were looking at it, was like, guys, we're too late. We need to hurry. We have this heritage. Let's build on that. But it kind of, nobody believed in it for a while. And now over the past, let's say 4 or 5 years potentially, it's popping up more and more on the radar, like the big media publishing houses. They're interested now. All the big brands over here are interested now. Still, they're very hesitant to do anything that is where you can see a gun or something like this. Like CSGO is still like a big topic over here. Too violent.
Really?
Yeah, oftentimes, very much. And that's why most of them focus on sports games in Germany especially. But these are only, luckily, the brands that have, just, they never really dealt with it on a proper level. They never examined the area. They just dove into this and were like, yeah, sure, let's do esports, so we do FIFA. And obviously esports go so much deeper, and there are so much better games than FIFA if you want to do something in esports properly. And now, it's been really popping up. And the cool part, obviously, is that with Bitkraft being in Berlin, with many investors being in Berlin, with all the big game publishers have now offices in Berlin, from Ubisoft to Riot. They play the LEC over here in the studio in Berlin. So the infrastructure in Berlin is incredible. You have so many B2B hangout meetings, when the situation is normal and not COVID. So it's really cool because you meet so many incredible people who are so creative, who are entrepreneurs. It's really, really cool. So from a European perspective, there are a couple of hubs in terms of cities, and it's always been London or Berlin at the forefront of it all. And now with Brexit happening, etc., Berlin is definitely the place to be. If you want to do something in esports in the European hemisphere, there's no way around going to Berlin. It's just the best place, 100%. Which is also why we built the first venue here. It wasn't just a coincidence because Thomas was already living here and I was already living here, but it was more like, we discussed where do we want to build something like this, and if our examination of the industry would have concluded that we need to go to Stockholm or Madrid or Barcelona or whatever, then we would have done that. But Berlin 100% is the best city, hands down.
And a project like this, I know, I've been in a few failing startups as well, Dorian, so I know. So a project like this, I know you got to go through, a planning phase, a funding phase, probably a few funding phases, and a general concept. How long did it take to kind of master the whole plan and actually hit the go button on the project?
We were incredibly fast, I would say. And with that, I would still say we can be faster. We always operate on rocket level speed, We founded the company Veritas in the summer of 2017 or August or September 2017. Back then it was pretty much like just a few guys and a dream. And very early on with that, we did some other things like you do as an esports agency. You do some consulting, you do an event here, etc., etc. We did some really cool things there too, some college esports stuff. But early 2018, we really started to refine the concept of what level is supposed to be. Back then it wasn't called level, but that we want to build physical space, and then you go into the concept phase and you say, so what is needed in there? What will the community need? You analyze the market, you speak to customers, potentially you visit all these other things. I've been plenty of times to the States to check out gaming spaces and how people use them over there, and then you have to take into account how different the culture can be, etc., etc. All the time, in the same time, you also do all the funding rounds. You talk to investors. We talked ever since I think spring of 2018. We spoke to the major brands. Most of them are now partners of Level. So it was pretty much like a full-time job, ever since the end of 2017, early 2018. Sometimes we were busy with little side projects. We did a community cup for Psyonix with Rocket League, for instance, stuff like that. Really cool things. And we started to build Level. We found the real estate that we want to use for it in summer of 2018 or spring of 2018, and we started building when the funding was secured in the fall of 2019. So I think actually 1st of September last year was the building start, the kickoff. And then we actually just built the entire thing in 6 months, which is for Berlin.
Whoa.
It's insanity. Like we
That's
still
insane.
haven't finished the airport here, the big one that is supposed to happen. It's become a running joke by now. But we managed to build this entire thing. All the time people were saying, "As you guys are crazy. Your timing is not realistic. You can't do that." But I'm one of those guys. If you tell me that I can't do it, I'm and Thomas is 100%, even if not worse. If somebody tells him you're not able to pull this off until then, we are even more motivated to, yes, we will. Watch us, and hence, we are really satisfied with the outcome of it all. And now we started recruiting a lot of people to run the space. Ever since December, we increased ×5 in size. So we are lots of people now. Hired a lot of people because this is now really taking off, which is a very exciting time.
And with that said, taking off. Did COVID, I know you launched around March, did it slow you up at all, or how's the state of things now? Yeah,
I mean, right now the situation in Germany is we are not allowed to open level right now, which is a annoying situation to be in. So everything was set to open the space to the public on the 26th of March, and we were completely ready. Had a cool grand opening concept with lots of worldwide known gaming influencers flying in, etc., etc. And then obviously the legislation said, nobody's allowed to. Right now we are the things what you're allowed to do, it becomes a little easier in Berlin. So we are currently checking pretty much on a daily basis what we are allowed to do. And we think we will, within the next 1.5 weeks, we will open some parts of level for the first time to the public. So that you just can come in, grab a burger for takeaway or something like this. So obviously it's a weird situation. We used it now for a shift towards digital production. So what we currently are building are lots and lots of cool content stuff. We will do a Valorant tournament at the end of this week, for instance, produced from Level, but obviously with casters sitting at home, stuff like that. And there are multiple projects like this in the pipeline right now. Because we have a full stack production crew ready, we have an awesome production studio ready, so we can create some cool things. We just can't have it, with a live audience on site. So we have to show a little patience there, but in the end it will be fine. But it's an annoying situation as it is everywhere, right?
I think it's annoying for everybody, and I'm just pleased that we were able to take some of our LAN, events and make them digital, unlike traditional sports. So we're able to live within the space without being, I know it's hurting, some people within the industry, but as far as esports itself is still going on, still breathing. We just can't meet up like we used to. So I definitely understand. And we have probably 5 minutes left in the podcast. Tell me, after all this passes over, what's the scope? What's the first year look? What does the first year look like for Level? So on average, we from our calculation, we want to host 130 live events per year in there, at least. Level will be open on a daily basis, pretty much like a PC bank or something like this, where you can just come and play. But our plan, and that's also where we are very different from most other ventures that we've seen in the space, or enterprises we've seen, that we really don't just want to be a rental space. We don't just want to be a space, if you want to produce some gaming content, you come, you rent the space, you do your own thing there, and we're happy with that. For us, it's really about building a global brand. Level for us really is a brand, as I said, like Hard Rock Cafe, in some sense. So that means that we do have our own talent pool, we do have our own creative units, we have our own event management stuff. Obviously, we still are being rented out. We have so many requests already from big brands to big teams to big leagues that want to do some really, really cool things in there. But apart from that, we will always put up our own shows. Really, even stuff like this, a cool esports podcast, stuff like that, you could record in front of audience from our venue. And we want to do things like that. Wow.
So, yeah, absolutely. So for us, it's really about, that Level has its own tone of voice, its own brand identity, its own language and design language specifically, and we will definitely focus on that. So it's always these two sides that we are trying to tackle. On the one hand, we will have all the stuff, the requests from big publishers to big leagues where we just, execute events that other people can brand. And on the other hand, we will have the level style events, the level productions, and there we are really aiming for creative and wild formats, stuff that hasn't been done before, because I think there's some room for improvement from my perspective, and just produce really cool things in front of an awesome live audience. But even if you're not on site, then you can still tune in, watch it online, watch it digitally, and no matter where you are, you will make sure next time you're in Berlin, you will definitely drop by Level, and if we're then in New York and Sao Paulo and wherever, then you will drop by there, and you will know what kind of quality you're getting, because Level's premium quality standard that, to be honest, other competitors in other spaces so far can't compete with.
If I had a few million, I'll drop it on your lap right now, man. I definitely believe that you believe in it, and this is your baby, man. And I wish you the best. I hope you're the best, man. And you made an outstanding product. Tell Thomas he did as well. And I'm looking forward to what you guys are going to do in the future, man. Probably the near future is aggressive as you guys work. So I really thank you for coming on to the show. Let's just take this last maybe minute or so, just plug away, tell people how they can reach out, how they can get to the Level website. Just have this time to kind of plug away.
Thank you so much. First, thanks for having us on the show. Really always flattered if people reach out to hear us talk about it. Yeah, it is our baby. Really was a team effort, great team. So I want to say hi to the entire team, especially to, of course, to Thomas, my partner in crime, the guy who started it all. You can find Level online under level.global. Yeah, that's really a URL, level.global, LVL global. And you'll find us on Level Global on all socials. So no matter where you are, if it's Twitter, Instagram, or wherever, Twitch too, Level Global, one word, you can find us there. Thank you so much for having me on the show. It was a great honor and pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Thank you. It was a pleasure to have you as well, man. And whenever you need to come on again, or you want to kind of showcase what you guys are doing, you always have an open door here, man.
Thank you so much. And if you are ever in the Berlin area, just message me, and first drinks are on me. Not only first drinks, all drinks are on me. All drinks. Right? You're my guest.
Not a problem. Not a problem at all. Trust me, if I'm over, I'm calling. Thanks again, Dorian.
Thank you so much for having me. Take care. Bye.
This was another episode of Go Play Esports with Christopher Turner. Follow him on Twitter @Turner_CP.